Hey there, it's Wendy. I am here with Color Splash 8 today. I am so excited to hang out with you. We've got Pear Pizzazz, Poppy Parade, So Saffron, and Pool Party. On the screen is your supply list, but they're also listed down below the video. So if there's any items you want to purchase, you can. With the links below the video. Peace and Joy bundle is brand new. It's going to be available starting August 4th. So the link is below the video, but you won't be able to purchase it until August 4th. All right, it has been a minute since we hung out. So I'm gonna stamp, we're gonna have some story time, and I have some photos for you for the end of this video from my trip. That's what I was trying to say. Good Lord, can't think straight. Okay, so I'm starting out by stamping some of these stars in So Saffron. And then I'm going to stamp some of the leaves. And I'm going to stamp some holly berries. And then we're going to build our sentiment in the middle. So yeah, super fun. Where have I been? So for those of you who don't know, by the way, I'm using Pear Pizzazz ink here for the leaves, and a great way to create different colors is to simply stamp off on a piece of cardstock or a scrap piece of paper, and then stamp full strength in other places. So it kind of gives you the element of having different colors, even though it's all the same color. It's a really fun trick I really enjoy doing when I am creating cards and different things, because it really stretches your ink pads, especially if you don't have them all. This is a great way to stretch them. And there you saw I stamped it off twice, and then I'm stamping a third time actually onto the card base, or the, I don't know, this really isn't the card base, this is more like the decorative piece. I don't know what you would call it. Anyway, all the measurements I'm using today are there on the screen for you. And here is the dies. These dies are really cool. So it cuts out kind of a bubble shape for you to put your letters on. Then it cuts the word out in kind of a nice thick brush lettered font. And then it cuts out a really skinny lined piece. So you can either stamp and die cut the words, or you can just die cut the words. It's really up to you, however you want to do it. So my holly berries, I'm just randomly stamping kind of around. I love this little pop of red when I finish this card. It looks great. I love this color combination together. I'm going to have another video and card for you coming on Monday using a completely different stamp set. It's not Christmassy at all. Really quick before we get too far into story time in the video and all of that, I do want to mention that if you don't have a catalog from me and you would like one, and you don't already have another demonstrator that you use, I am happy to send you one. If you've placed an order with me in the last 6 months, you'll get one automatically for free, or you should. I can't always trust the postal system, but they've all been mailed. And so if you haven't received it by next week, then it's probably been lost. However, if you don't regularly place orders with me and you want a catalog, you can send me an email, and you can pay $5, and that just covers my shipping fee and my cost of materials for shipping it to you. Or you can place an order and I'm happy to send you one free. Whichever you prefer is totally fine. I love having a catalog in my hands so I can sit down and look through it. And next week I will have a catalog stroll here on YouTube, so you can kind of stroll with me through the new mini catalog and see all the fun stuff there is to offer. And I'll make sure to point out a few things in the catalog that might be different that you're not used to seeing. What other items are there? Last chance for my fall paper party. I know a lot of people have asked about my paper party. A lot of people have already signed up. If you don't sign up and pay by August 2nd, you can't get it. So that is my deadline. There is a link below the video for my fall paper party, so you can check out the information, watch the video, and then sign up. Okay, Now I'm just finishing this card off, and we're going to have a little bit of story time. And I have some photos of my vacation for you, so I'm excited to show you those also. Let's see, where should we start? There's lots of things that happened on vacation. I actually, full disclosure, I actually took notes, things I wanted to remember to share with you because they were funny. So we're going to start out with our hotel stay in Pocatello. So we drove from where we live in California to Pocatello, Idaho for our first night stay. And by the way, we went to Montana to visit my cousin, but flying was not an option due to COVID. So we decided that we would drive. So it was me and my husband and my daughter and our dog Trudy, who's our Vizsla. And so we took her with us as well. We left the 2 little dogs at home with my mom, and she took care of them while we were gone, and the chickens. So we set off on our adventure and drove to Pocatello. Really uneventful driving the first day, like no problems, no drama. The most interesting thing I found along the way was I really thought that once we got out of California, people were going to be extremely relaxed about wearing masks and all of that. And actually the opposite was true. I found that they were more strict in Nevada than anywhere else. I was really shocked. I mean, we went to one gas station where 2 people came to go into the gas station, and there was somebody at the front and turned them away, and told them you have to have a mask on if you're going to come in here. So I thought that was really interesting, especially because a couple of the places that we stopped were kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know, that really took me by surprise to see that there's other parts of the country that are taking precautions, frankly, even more serious. We have not had that here in California, where I live. I know in Southern California it's like that, but where I live, it's not at all. There's lots of people that go into different places, no mask or anything. So anyway, I found it very interesting. I thought I would share that. So we get to Pocatello, we get all settled in. The car situation was kind of a nightmare because we were bringing stuff to my cousin from California to Montana. So each time we stopped at a hotel, my husband had to move the stuff into the cab of the truck and lock it up, and then take our stuff into the hotel room. So there was a little bit of extra work there. And then of course we had the dogs, so that was a little extra work as well, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So we get all situated and settled down for the night in Pocatello, and I had the worst night's sleep I've ever had in a hotel. It was horrible. There were a group of late teen, early 20 somethings running up and down the halls, slamming doors, playing loud music. So finally at 1:00 in the morning, I called the front desk. I hated to be that person, but I'm like, I gotta sleep. I'm exhausted at this point, and I'm getting grouchier by the minute. Here's the other card I made using the same elements, but different. So here's some pictures from our trip. This is when we first got going. And these are the Grand Tetons behind us. Yellowstone. Anyway, I ended up having to call a second time to the people at the front, and they finally got settled down and we finally got some sleep. But it was awful. I would love to hear if you've had a horrible hotel experience. This is Trudy being totally tired of being in the car. And this is actually when we're back home. So I just popped a few photos in there so that I'd have a little bit longer to chat with you. I've got gads and gads of stories to share, so make sure you tune in Monday because I have more stories. So I'd love to hear about your craziest hotel stay you've ever had. Drop it in the comments below. If you need any of these products, shoploveandstampin.com. Bye-bye.